Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those just joining us, I'm your dedicated crypto analyst, and I've been following XRP's journey for years. If you're new here, I'd genuinely appreciate it if you'd subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns like this one. Before we dive in, I need to emphasize something important. Everything I'm sharing here is strictly for educational purposes. This is not financial advice. Always conduct your own thorough research and consult with a professional financial advisor before making any moves in the market. Your financial decisions should be informed and carefully considered. Now, let's jump right into the big news that's reshaping the narrative around XRP and institutional adoption. The BlackRock move. What actually happened? BlackRock has successfully integrated their tokenized money market fund onto the XRP Ledger, and this isn't hype or speculation. It's a real, tangible step toward tokenizing traditional assets like U.S. government debt and other financial instruments onto blockchain technology. Reports from authoritative sources like CoinDesk highlight how this strategic move positions XRP squarely in the growing real-world asset tokenization market, which some experts estimate could eventually reach trillions in value. We're talking about a fundamental reshaping of how traditional finance and blockchain could interact. But here's the question that matters. What does this really mean for everyday investors like you and me? Stick with me as we unpack the layers of this story, and I'll share some eye-opening community perspectives that are blowing up right now across social media and crypto forums. Taking the pulse of the community. To give you the latest real-time sentiment, I've been scanning X, formerly Twitter, and other platforms for today's discussions and trending takes. Just this morning on February 2nd, 2026, a user called XRPL tweeted something that captured the mood perfectly. Hey, BlackRock XRP is looking affordable right now. Time to push that ETF application so your clients can jump in at a good spot. That single tweet has already racked up over 69 likes, clearly showing how the broader XRP community is viewing this moment with genuine excitement and optimism about timing. Then there's Chad Steingraber, a recognized influencer in the crypto space, who posted important updates about XRP ETFs, pulling in a substantial $34 million in inflows just today, with Bitwise alone contributing over $20 million of that total. He noted that with just 2 hours left in the trading day, XRP ETFs were already at $34 million. Bitwise hasn't broken their inflow streak since the ETF's launch, which speaks volumes about sustained institutional interest. These are real-time reactions that are actively fueling the buzz, and it's becoming increasingly clear that folks across the market are seeing this as a sign of things genuinely heating up for XRP. But let's dig even deeper into the conversation. Hitherick shared a particularly insightful thread emphasizing how BlackRock plays strategic games to win, framing it this way. Best, most simplistic framing I've seen in a while regarding why BlackRock launches XRP ETF. All they do is win, and now is an exceptional point in time to enter. He's essentially framing this as a classic buy low, sell high strategy, tying it directly to BlackRock's proven reputation for institutional success and market timing. It's about understanding how the biggest players in finance make their moves. In another post from the same user, he simplified the thesis even further. It's simple. The narrative remains the same for XRP. Buy low, sell high remains the game for BlackRock. This resonates deeply with the community because it cuts through the noise and hype to focus on institutional strategy and proven patterns. When BlackRock makes a move, there's usually a reason, and the math is usually working in their favor. And check out Jay Hodl's reply to the conversation. I predict BlackRock XRP ETF hops in when XRP gets to its bottom this Q1, and then we fly. That statement is sparking genuine debates about timing across the community, with people weighing in on whether we've already hit that low point or if there's more downside coming. Everyone's trying to predict the exact inflection point. Understanding the technology. Why XRP Ledger matters. Let's break this down into digestible parts so you really understand what's happening under the hood. The XRP Ledger is essentially like a high-speed rail system for finance. It's quick, efficient, and operates at remarkably low cost compared to traditional banking infrastructure. BlackRock's BUILDl fund tokenizes treasuries and other traditional assets, making them instantly tradable on the ledger without the usual delays and friction of legacy systems. This development ties directly into Ripple's recent technological advances, including their treasury management system that came from the G-Treasury acquisition, which allows for seamless handling of both fiat currencies and cryptocurrency. We're looking at infrastructure that could fundamentally change how institutions move and manage assets. With XRP currently trading at $162 today, it's already up approximately 25% so far this year, according to market data from Yahoo Finance. But here's what's interesting. Why the surge? It's not just retail hype or social media excitement, it's institutional rotation. While Bitcoin faces sell-offs and market pressure, XRP is holding remarkably strong thanks to these sustained ETF inflows and BlackRock's integration announcement. That's a key distinction that matters for understanding where the real money is flowing. The community's visual predictions. Pulling in even more perspectives from X to keep things fresh, Beyond Broke posted a bingo card for XRP hitting $1,000 plus, checking off key milestones like XRP ETFs going live, regulatory clarity, and even some broader geopolitical factors like potential oil spikes from global conflicts. He's specifically waiting on BlackRock's ETF announcement and monitoring how external factors might create catalysts. This kind of visual tool is getting tremendous engagement, over 3,700 likes, because it gamifies the predictions and gets people actively commenting their own takes and theories. It's community-driven analysis at its best. On the more measured side, Jesus Martinez offered a grounded, realistic perspective. XRP is at $2 and 100 billion market cap. Ethereum's at 270 billion and has 100 times more usage right now. I've held XRP since 30 cents, and I can also be realistic with predictions. He points out that real, sustainable growth comes from actual US adoption narratives and genuine use cases, not just market sentiment. His take suggests we could realistically see $20 plus easily if regulatory clarity and institutional adoption align properly. That's a more conservative but fundamentally sound perspective. The institutional angle. Why this matters for your portfolio. Let me expand on the institutional perspective, because this is where the real story lives. Data from various reports show that XRP ETFs have pulled in over $1.3 billion in inflows since launch, with zero net outflows recorded. That's impressive stability in a volatile market. Coinbow highlighted an interesting dynamic. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF investors are currently underwater due to recent market dips, which might strategically push them to diversify into assets like XRP that offer utility beyond just being a store of value. XRP isn't just a speculative asset, it has functional use cases in real transactions. A reply from David Q perfectly captured a widespread sentiment. Sounds like BlackRock should get an XRP and XLM ETF ASAP. It's a sentiment echoing loudly across threads with people actively speculating on how BlackRock's portfolio strategies might shift. The question isn't really if anymore, it's more about when. Addressing the common myths head-on. Now, let's address the doubts and myths that pop up regularly in this conversation, because you'll definitely encounter them. First myth: XRP is too centralized. Not accurate. The ledger operates with a decentralized network of global validators, and Ripple's significant holdings are locked in transparent escrow releases. The control structure is far more distributed than many assume. Second myth: there's no real adoption. This one's thoroughly debunked by reality. Banks are actively using XRP for billions in cross-border payments through Ripple's on-demand liquidity service. And now, with BlackRock's tokenization integration, we're seeing adoption expanding into entirely new asset classes. Third myth: regulations will kill it. After the recent SEC clarity on XRP, the regulatory environment is actually looking increasingly promising, especially with a more crypto-friendly administration and clearer frameworks emerging. Fourth myth: high price targets are completely unrealistic. Blockcast CC noted that Ripple's CTO, David Schwartz, made a compelling logical argument. Rational investors who genuinely believed in significant upside would buy now, which would push prices higher organically. He shared his own story about selling at 10 cents when hitting a higher price seemed impossible, just like $100 or more seems impossible to some today. History has a way of surprising skeptics. Real-time market data and community reactions. Community reactions are genuinely mixed at this moment. Some are frustrated about price action, while others remain deeply optimistic, especially considering there's been $74 million in XRP ETF volume amid what some see as a temporary dip to around 174. Different perspectives based on different time frames and conviction levels. What if we consider more speculative but interesting global factors? XRP moonwalk theory goes like this. When this happens, BlackRock will announce their XRP ETF and move Bitcoin onto the XRP Ledger. Then overnight, XRP will move into 4 digits instantly. It's speculative, absolutely, but it highlights how interconnected these assets could potentially become if interoperability initiatives expand further. Similarly, Unified Love 7 captured the sentiment perfectly. Because once BlackRock begets XRP ETFs, we're not going up. It shows the anticipation building around that one catalyst event, the moment BlackRock officially launches their spot XRP ETF. Expert perspectives on timeline. Building to the key insight from established experts, Stephen McClure from Canary Capital suggests that a BlackRock spot XRP ETF could realistically arrive by late 2026 or early 2027, once market liquidity and institutional demand fully align. But here's the important question that our Miss Mary 33 asked. Do we really have to wait until late 2026 or 2027 to see meaningful XRP price movement? The answer is probably not. Current integrations, sustained ETF inflows, and growing institutional adoption could drive momentum significantly sooner than many expect. These developments don't happen in isolation, they compound. Andro Oxenu linked to an insightful article explaining why BlackRock hasn't officially filed their XRP ETF application yet, citing factors like market readiness and regulatory positioning. But the tide is genuinely turning. The groundwork is being laid. Wrapping this all together, the winds of change are clear. BlackRock's tokenization integration on XRP, strong and sustained ETF flows, a vibrant community filled with detailed predictions and analyses, and grounded takes keeping us honest. This is about understanding the genuine potential in blockchain finance. We're watching the transition from speculation to infrastructure, From high-speed rails for finance to digital ledgers replacing legacy systems, the space is evolving at breakneck speed. On an uplifting note, the XRP ecosystem has proven itself remarkably resilient and genuinely innovative through multiple market cycles. Staying informed and understanding these developments positions you perfectly to appreciate the journey, whether prices eventually hit $22 resistance levels or move well beyond. If this breakdown helped clarify things for you and got you genuinely thinking about the bigger picture, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. Drop your thoughts about XRP's future in the comments. Maybe share your own bingo card ideas or price predictions. Subscribe to stay updated on more detailed insights like this, and please share this with friends who are curious about these institutional moves. And remember one more time, this isn't financial advice. Do your own thorough due diligence and make decisions based on your own research and risk tolerance.